What's going on, guys? Welcome. We are live once again, Sim Racing 604. Tonight we'll be covering the Fun League at Brands Hatch. And fun fact, can't wait to say this, welcoming our co-commentator back again. It's Nick King. Nick, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing great, man. How you been?
Good and also not good. Last night was kind of crazy in GT3.
Yeah, I think it was a struggle for a lot of us.
What do you remember from last week at Brands Hatch?
I struggled there too. I'm not good with Brands Hatch. I loved it in the original Assetto Corsa, but it gives me problems in ACC.
Yeah, I kind of felt the same way, especially it being in the wet, which I think these guys might benefit from a dry race.
Yeah, definitely. I tend to push too hard at Brands Hatch because you gotta push hard to get them lap times, and I end up going over the limit too often.
What do you think about that first turn there with the dip?
That's actually pretty fun. I would love to in real life get to do that in a race car because that's the you like that thrill of maybe like a roller coaster ride.
I don't know. I'm kind of scared of it myself. Maybe that's because I haven't really mastered it on track. I either find myself in the sand or spinning out.
Yeah, I don't have an exact break point. I used to just go off field there, and a lot of times I overshoot it and I'll end up in the dirt.
Oh man. So covering tonight's race, we'll be having multi-class again, and similar to last week, our leaders here will have Charles Saylor in P1, Christopher Greer P2, Robin Borden P3, and or forgive me, it looks like the list is changing, but yeah, Robin Borden P3, Doug Walzel P4, Clark Moye P5, and Giancarlo Lindsey P6. If I said that wrong, I have no idea what's going on with the list, so that's an ACC problem, but nonetheless, these guys were extremely fast last week, and so can't wait to see them do the same thing again. Someone new we're adding to the roster for this week is Vicente De Silva, as well as, let me see, Thomas Rep, Michael Sicca, and I believe that might be it. There's one more who's in a GT3. Let me see if I cannot find him in the meantime. Nick, do you mind covering the GT4s, our grid order?
I would. My game is freezing up on me again, and I might have to exit out and come back in just a minute.
All
I'm
good, all good.
trying to fix it right now.
All right, so we're gonna go here, out of the timetable, and we'll have updated positions here in a second. But then again, it's all about to change because we're about to get racing. Pretty excited to be covering Brands Hatch as that's what I thought last week's race was going to be. And like kind of had prepared myself for that to then find out it was Monza. Which, Nick, I'm not sure if you had a chance to see the replay from Monza. That turn one was as, crazy as you'd expect it to be. But however, I found that the most contact came from Ascari.
Yeah, usually you don't see a lot of contact there, especially on the random lobbies you join. It's usually T1 where they get you,
Green line, give it all you got.
but
All
I,
right,
I
guys,
didn't
and
get
we're
to.
green. It looks like Charles is maintaining his lead while Robin Borden fights with Doug Welzo in the back. Charles Moray trying to catching up down the inside as we have Giancarlo Lindsey behind them. Robin Borden maintaining his lead. Giancarlo and Doug fighting it out. We have Aiden and Vicente. It seems like they're not around here. Let me see if I can find them for a second. It seems like the grid has changed a bit, that they're not around. I'm trying to find out who the chrome Mercedes behind Giancarlo is. Robin Borden maintaining his lead. That's Luca Conti. There it is. So far, so good. No one's really lost any positions. This is always the challenging part in lap 1 where everybody's so close and you're like, who do I look at? I don't want to miss a single thing.
Yeah, I'm jumping around real quick, and I see Greer. Did he start in the pits?
That's surprising. I did see 2 cars. There was a yellow flag at the start. It looks like it's still there. That car might have backed out, actually, or teleported to the pits. Robin maintaining the lead, followed by Charles and Clark. Giancarlo not having any luck trying to get around Doug. Luca Conti, a little bit of oversteer, followed by Aiden Benitez. Doug Welzel slightly going a little wide there on the AstroTurf.
Meanwhile, we have Harrison Lynn leading the GT4 cars, followed by Jeffrey Bray.
I'm pretty happy to see Harrison back. I didn't see him last weekend, but it's kind of nice to see him outside of that Alpine.
Yeah, I'm really digging his paint job. He's got a chrome blue color BMW.
You know what? With those wheels, it actually looks pretty nice. I'm not a fan of colored wheels in the game, but I'll make an exception for his car.
Yeah, no doubt.
Moving back with the leaders, Robin Borden maintaining his stellar lead. I'm, Adam Stark, if you're watching this, buddy, we miss you. Robin needs some competition, all right? So whenever you can, we need you, Adam. I don't know if you remember Adam, Nick. He was in last season's Fun League.
Oh yeah, I remember him. He was really fast. But did he have a scheduling conflict for this week?
I'm not sure. I think he just wanted a break. I think he wanted an off season to recuperate and come back competitive.
Oh, so he's gonna miss the whole season?
It's possible. From what I heard last time, I believe so.
Oh wow. Well, I can't really blame him. Everybody needs a break every now and then.
Yeah. Someone else we haven't seen is Juan Rinoso. Again, another one of the top drivers who competed with Robin last season. He drove the Maserati pretty damn well, I might say. So far, the leaders are maintaining pace, as we've kind of seen. The only difference so far is we have Giancarlo and Luca Conti keeping up pace with them in P5 and P6. Moving a little down, we have Aiden Benitez in P8 fighting with Carter Close, Vicente De Silva, and Davin Sturdivant. You want to know something funny, Nick? With Davin Sturdivant, Jonathan Corkle, and Steve Fisher, all running the same livery on the Lexus. And last week we had Davin being the only one running a variant of that livery in the blue and green color. And for some reason, he's gone and changed it to the same red and black. And so the only way I can differentiate them is by their wheel color. Davin running a minty green, Jonathan Corkle with a yellow, and Steve Fisher with a yellow, and John Corkle with a gold. So I think they're trying to toss me some like a little bit of a challenge there, so I won't tell them apart.
They're not making it easy for you, are they?
No, but I'm trying to stay on it. As Aiden Benitez defends there from Vicente De Silva. Vicente being his first race in the server. Pretty quick there with a Bentley. The only other Bentley we've seen so far was Ed Berger. So it's pretty nice to see some UK love, as Luca Conti seems to have made contact with Giancarlo Lindsey. We're going to go back and watch that. Looks like both of them racing pretty hard. Luca Conti getting a better exit down the straight, right behind Giancarlo Lindsey as he attempts to move down the inside. Did not make contact into the first turn, but it looks like Giancarlo Lindsey unfortunately did have some understeer as he tried to keep the position, and Luca Conti, following close behind, did also make the mistake as well.
A little further back in the field with the GT4s, Harrison Lynn has now stretched out a lead of 5 seconds over Jeffrey Bray. That's a little surprising.
That is. But then again, it's Harrison Lynn, a top driver. I guess he might have a lot more pace than we saw him in the Alpine from last season. And it looks like Billy Sullivan has retired, or it's possible he never started, actually. He's back in the pits.
Well, I noticed Greer got back on track. He's still making his way through the GT4 traffic now. He's sitting 31st place.
And we have John Daly moving on the inside of Norbert Perdursky. Or Jeremiah, pardon. Norbert still fighting that back. By the way, that's been a tough name to say. I haven't mastered it yet. I think I'm slightly butchering it.
Yeah, we have
number 4.
Yeah, I was fixing to say, I have no idea how to pronounce his name, and I do not want to butcher it.
I just kind of picked the pronunciation, and I'm just waiting to be corrected. And there's Christopher Greer, as you mentioned, trying to get around both. Something we saw last week is Norbert having a ton of bad luck when it came to GT3 traffic, catching out a lot of damage, as it looks like he's already carrying a lot on the front end. I wonder how much of that was from traffic or just racing on track. And it looks like, and they made contact with Jeremiah Daly. That was Shell Smith in the flat black Ferrari. That's unfortunate there for Jeremiah. I just don't think he had anywhere to go. And it looks like Shell Smith might have retired, as he is back in the pits. Normally when the drivers will continue, they'll drive back, but for him to retire and have like a 4-minute control lock, I think that might be it for him for this event. Hopefully he sticks around for event number 2. Moving back to the lead, we have Robin Borden maintaining P1, followed by Charles Saylor, Clark Moye, and Doug Welzel. It's kind of interesting. These guys run close, they race hard, but they keep their positions. I don't want to curse it, but I have a feeling this is how this event will play out.
Yeah, I'd have to agree there.
Having a little battle there with Aiden Benitez and Vicente De Silva for P5. Carter Close defending P7, currently running a good gap from Davin Sturdivant and Jason Ouellette. Fun fact, that one I did verify. It is Ouellette. I jumped into the server during free practice and I asked. That one I had no idea where to go with it, but hopefully I haven't forgotten it.
You sound professional tonight.
Well, let's hope. Let's hope. Jason
Now,
followed by Leonard Cachola. Go ahead, Nick.
I was just fixing to say, Greer's just now made it past Harrison Lynn, and that's the last GT4 car he needs to get by. So now he can start working on the GT3s.
You know, part of me thinks that Christopher Greer likes racing from the back. I believe this is the second time or third time we've seen him do this. It might not be on purpose. I think, if I remember correctly, last season, Kielami, he had a similar incident where on the grid he was disconnected and had to fight back from 20 into P10. And so it's kind of tradition to see Christopher Greer fighting traffic from the back.
Yeah, I think he just likes passing cars. So. And he's pretty quick, too.
Definitely.
He's now done made it up to the bumper of Nick Smoley, and Nick Smoley goes off.
Ooh, and so we have another car as well. It looks like it is one of the Lexus trio. Let's see who was last with Nick Smoley. It's hard to tell. Let's find out what happened with these guys. So Nick in front of Christopher. That same issue as Giancarlo Lindsey. That Porsche seems to be prone to oversteer here on Brands.
I'm sensing a trend right now. We have 3 Porsches atop the leaderboards. I think the Porsches might have an advantage tonight.
It kind of reminds me of that event we had in Barcelona, the Cup car versus the Super Trofeo, where the Porsches were almost a second faster down the straights.
Now we have Corporal is in the pits now. I think he got a lot of damage. Unfortunately, he's already 2 laps down at this point.
Charles Saylor attempting to move on Robin Borden. He's definitely closed the gap a lot more. You know, somebody we're missing this time around as well as Ryan Connolly. He also ran a Porsche similar as a GPX Porsche as Robin Borden. As Robin get past Norbert Podorski. Norbert again having the bad luck of just getting all this GT3 traffic as well is the nature in multi-class racing.
Yeah, you can come up quick on the GT4s. And you got to be patient. You can't pass them in a non-passing zone. You have to kind of set them up. And, you know, be patient with your passes.
Charles still hunting down Robin. And they're going to get caught up here with Jeff Bray.
Oh, this is going to be interesting. Now, Bo having to... Oh, no. Oh, no.
You could have seen that one coming. And looks like Clark and Doug will get the pass there from Charles. Unfortunately, that's something we saw last time where you have the GT4 car move over to a certain lane and the overtaking car attempting to pass the GT3 in front will always end up behind the GT4, and somehow that will always cause an incident. So for most of these guys, if they're stuck in traffic, it'd be best to give up the overtake and just follow suit with the car in front as you overtake the GT4 car.
Yes, you're exactly right. He could have used a little more patience and nobody would have got no harm, no foul, but it looks like they tried to force the situation. They tried to split him. And unfortunately, I think Bray got the worst of that deal.
Gonna move back down the grid. Vicente still behind Aiden Benitez as they all get past Jeff Bray, followed by Carter Close. Haven't really seen much of Mr. Universe this time around. He was pretty quick in Monza. He's pushed back a couple spots this time around. I wonder might be what's going on with the McLaren on this track.
Looking back to the GT4s, looks like Harrison Lynn he's got a good lead over Bray, who's still holding on to second in the GT4 class, despite that incident last lap.
Pretty interesting to see how quick he can follow Tim Dimitri, who's running in the GT3. You know, interesting enough, Tim Dimitri and Nick Smoley, another ragtag duo attempting to throw a wrench into the works here. Tim running the same livery as Nick Smoley. Only difference with the Tim is that he has a matte, like a satin metallic orange versus Nick a gold, or a glossy. So I see these guys, you know, they're trying to trip me up, and they're fellow commentators. Do you believe that, Nick?
Yeah, they worked that into their strategy.
And it looks like Harrison Lindner is unhappy with the pass from Doug Welzel, which was a little aggressive, but fortunately nobody had any damage. Moving away from our leaders for a second, we're going to go into somebody new. And it looks like perfectly we timed it. Carter Close having some sort of off-track moment there as Kevin Ty gets around him with Leonard Cachola. Let's move back and see what happened to Mr. Universe. And it just looks like he ran a little wide, kept it heavy on the throttle as he caught grass on his tires, and that just spun him out. As looks like Davin Sturdivant, Jeff Bray, and Jason Ouellette got past. Almost made contact there with Kevin Ty. Fortunately for Leonard, he got away safely. And, no contact there.
One guy we not talked about yet is Mike Smith. He's sitting in 18th, and he's trying to get 17th from Mr. Warmington. Mike's driving the McLaren tonight, or this season.
Yeah, carrying the tradition. It looks like that might be his car of suit.
Yeah, I like the look of the 720.
Don't let your eyes fool you, though. We also have Michael Sicca running an exact livery as Mike Smith. Beats the panty there.
Yes.
As he gets past Jeremiah Daly, running what I like to call the Luigi AMR, as they both get past the Mario AMR. And it looks like Jeremiah Daly gets in front. I don't believe I remember who the red and black AMR is. Let's see. Let's find him out. Nick, can you see who that red and black Aston Martin is?
That would be Correa.
John Correa, there it is. So now we have Bill Shaw attempting to pass Jonathan Corkle, followed by Shell Smith. Good to see Shell didn't retire. Got back in the race. It's always good to see someone with an accident be able to put their head down and come back on track.
Right now, it seems to be Harrison Lynn is running away with the GT4 class. He's got, looks like a 25-second lead over Jeff Bray.
Giancarlo Lindsey getting past Jeremiah Daly, followed by John Correa. Giancarlo, unfortunately, having a lot of understeers. We see him as well on track. That led to his downfall in positions with, I believe, Luca Conti in the Chrome Mercedes. Christopher Greer, an update, running P19. He's far enough away now from the GT4s, and he's on the hunt for Mike Smith. Mike Smith battling it out there with Martin Warmington. Kind of nice to see Martin without some damage. He had a tough time there through Ascari last weekend. We had just kind of a domino effect in after lap 1. And there was, unfortunately, a lot of guys who just got caught there having a Code Brown. As Christopher Greer, as I mentioned, a Code Brown has one himself. A bit of grass there and into the wall. that's unfortunate for Christopher Greer.
Yeah, that was a tough break.
Just as he was
He was
catching up.
charging back through the field after starting in the pits.
The grass here at Brands is challenging, unfortunately. Some of these corners are pretty fast, and just catching out a little bit of that seems to be disastrous for these guys. Moving back up with the leaders. So far, maintaining their positions after Charles Saylor dropped down a bit. It seems like they're now starting to lap the GT3 cars. Maintaining a close proximity, we have Robin, Clark, and Doug. As it looks like they're about to lap Bill Shaw. Clark Moye attempting to have a look down the inside. Robin Borden closing the door.
The GT4s seemed a little spread out compared to the GT3s, but there are only 8 GT4s in the race tonight. But it looks like Bray is 2 laps down to Harrison Lynn at the moment with 7.5 minutes to go. Barring any unforeseen accidents for Lynn, he might have to take the win in the GT4 class in race 1.
Somebody we haven't covered yet, Thomas Rep running P13. He's, along with Kevin Ty, the only ones running the Huracans so far this season. Steve Fisher leading in P13. Maintaining a good gap there from Thomas Rep. Nick, I've heard the Lamborghinis don't get a lot of love in ACC. Do you find that to be true?
Yeah, I could see that. I really love the Lamborghini myself. My biggest problem with it is your view out of the front windshield. I think it's too slanted for me, and I just don't feel like I can see enough of my front end. But I do like the car.
Yeah, I definitely feel the same way with the dash. It's hard to get a good FOV as everything feels very distant from you, and the closer you get, you start to miss out a lot of on that gauge cluster. So it's definitely a tough drive for sure.
Yeah, but if you can get it mastered, that Lamborghini, I think you can win it on any track. Because it's got good speed and it's got good handling too.
Luca Conti, as we saw him fall back from P7, running with a bit of damage as Mike Smith and Martin catch up. Last we saw them, it looks like Mike Smith has overtaken Martin Warmington. Bit oversteer from Luca Conti. Let's go on board here with Martin for a sec as he attempts to hunt down Mike. This is kind of an angle. So far, Nick, I'm on the bonnet, and it's an angle that I somewhat started to pursue in Bathurst. I find it gives some pretty fun view here of the car in front.
Yeah, a lot of times I like to watch the replays from the bonnet view. I can't drive with it, but I like to watch the replays.
Same here. It's a very good sense of speed, but not so good for driving.
No, definitely not.
Moving back up with the leaders, Robin Borden maintaining the lead, followed close by Clark and Doug. Here's another tough one, Nick. How would you pronounce Clark's last name? So far, I've been going with Moye, but I feel like I'm somewhat wrong.
Yeah, I'm not going to attempt that one. Sorry.
It's all fair.
I might have to ask Siri real quick.
Charles, pretty much in clean air, running his own race. Unfortunately, that's kind of what happens when, I mean, you know, managing traffic, it's not so much just the, as a GT3 car, you have to take the majority of the responsibility when overtaking a GT4. And, you know, I think a couple seconds behind Robin Borden would be a little better than 2 positions away.
Yeah, for sure. And it's
Vicente,
not on the
Go ahead.
It's, I was just gonna say, it's not on the GT4 car to let you pass. It's on the GT3 car to get by the GT4s.
Yeah, it's a 2-way street, even though we're all running one way. Hold on, better yet, it's a 2-lane track.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. That sounds good.
You try to make it 3, it doesn't work.
No, it usually doesn't. Especially as narrow as Brands Hatch is, you definitely can't take it 3 wide. Not without somebody getting their feelings hurt anyway.
Oh yeah, been there. And as we look at Jason Ouellette, somebody we have not covered this evening so far, surprisingly enough, is Dan Lee in the NSX. Dan Lee currently running P23 as he is being lapped so far by Jason Ouellette. Dan Lee, we saw pretty quick last season in the BMW in the GT4 class. And he seemed pretty quick in Monza. It's I'm not sure what might be going on tonight here at Brands.
Yeah, he's usually a lot faster than this. Makes you wonder if he don't have some kind of hardware issue.
Tough break for him as he's racing with Michael Sicca, and he's getting blue flags, to let Jason Ouellette pass. What would you do here in this scenario, Nick, when being faced with a faster car but trying to keep position with the car ahead? Then, unfortunately for Dan, it caught a bit of oversteer.
Yeah. Best thing to do in that situation is go ahead and let the lead lap car get by first, and then you can go back to battling. You don't want to try to overtake the guy you're racing with and still try to defend from the guy trying to pass you. You lose too much time when you try to do it that way. And then in that instance, he got loose and had to counter steer. And it kind of worked out because he's now on the back of Sicca. And he's going for the move here. Oh no, contact. And they both go around.
On the last lap, that's unfortunate.
That one stings a little.
And it seems like Michael Sicca has retired, unfortunately. It seemed like Dan, props to him, was waiting for him to rejoin to give back the position. But with on the last lap, with 20 seconds left, it's, well, you know, it's kind of a hard one to jump back in there. But hopefully he sticks around there for event number 2 as we jump back with the leaders as we approach the finish line. Now, I somewhat called it, but the order did shift. We have Robin Borden in P1 as Clark Moyer. Someone in chat kind of commented. I'll read that in a second. Robin maintaining the lead as he crosses the finish line. And there it is in P1 for event number 1 of tonight at Brands. We have Robin P1, Clark P2, and Doug P3, followed by Charles in P4. Vicente De Silva fighting it out with Aiden Benitez as we approach the line. Vicente maintaining the lead in the Bentley, followed by Aiden Benitez. Jason Ouellette behind a little bit of traffic, but he will finish P7. As we see Bill Shaw and, I forget his name all the time, forgive me, Shell Smith cross the line. Carter Close and Davin Sturdivant, P8 and P9. Kevin Ty coming in behind Dan Lee. Unfortunately, a bit of contact off the line there, but it's all right. They cross, so it's all right. Leonard Cachola on P11. Conrad Abbott, bit of a quiet race there. P12, followed by Steve Fisher in the Lexus Trio car. Thomas Rep in P15 with Team Dimitri and Pete Stepani, who it seems were on a different lap. Luca Conti, P16, followed by Mike Smith in P7 in 17th. Martin Warmington catching a bit out there as Harrison Lynn crosses the line. I believe that's for the first place, Nick.
Yeah, Harrison Lynn's going to take the win for the GT4 class tonight in the first race.
Giancarlo Lindsey, P19, or P20. Kind of list has gone out of order there, but Bill Shaw, P23. It looks like some people might have left, so the order has shifted a bit, unfortunately. Let's just see. Let's just kind of go by what my list is saying here. Bill Shaw, P21. Michael Sicca, P26. Kind of weird there. Got out of order. Dan Lee, P22. P23, Nick Smoley. Tim Dimitri, P24. And then coming in for the GT4s, Harrison Lynn, followed by Jeff Bray, John Correa, Bruce Hopkins, Jonathan Corkle, Jeremiah Daly, Shell Smith, John Proctor, and Billy Sullivan.
Yeah, I apologize there at the end. I've had another freeze, and I could not see about the last 30 seconds of the race. I couldn't see anything.
That's all right there, Nick. It happens. Same here with mine. I got caught out there, and I had to also do the same.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do another reset here and see if I can't remedy the situation. I'll be right back.
All right, so reading chat here for a sec. Thanks again, guys. Thank you for joining. Thanks for being here. And Cams, so the proper pronunciation, is it Mueller? I see Mulloer. I'm going to stick with Moye for a second, but I feel like I'm wrong according to what I'm reading. But welcome, guys. Thanks for being around. Thanks for sticking around this long. Continue to stay. We're going to go ahead and get started with event number 2. The grid order will remain the same, but as we've seen time and time again, event number 2 gets way more aggressive. The drivers are pretty warmed up here after 30 minutes of racing, and so knowing well how everyone else breaks in front of them, it definitely gets a lot more intense. That was definitely a fun race. I guess I can reflect for a bit while we wait for Nick to get back. It was definitely interesting there. Definitely a lot more better passing, I would say, from the GT3 cars. We did see one or two incidents, but that's to be expected. But compared to Monza, it was a lot better. Hopefully, there for Norbert, it can be a lot better this time around. I unfortunately have had the luck of spectating as cars go past, and as I update my list here, unfortunately, it looks like Norbert might have left. Same can be said for a couple of the GT4 cars, as it looks like we might have. Yeah, so it looks like Norbert left, unfortunately. But that was a tough race, so I can relate to him. I myself had a challenging race last night as well in the competitive league. By the way, I don't know if spots are still open, but if you haven't joined the league, I recommend you do, or the Discord. Join the Discord. There's tons of events all the time. I'll post the link here soon. Maybe I have a little bit of a sec here. I'll post the link in chat if you're not in the server yet. If you'd like to join the Fun League or the Competitive League. I'm not sure if there are slots open, but throughout the season, I know that spots do open up. So go ahead and jump in there. And so the link's in chat if you guys want to check that out.
30 seconds.
And it looks like we are almost closing up here to race time.
20 seconds.
We're going to head and jump back in. Yeah, so I think going into this race, we're going to see, hopefully there with, oh, look, it looks like this is what we missed out the first time running. Christopher Greer in that top position, running P2. It looks like he might have had a disconnect into the start, which unfortunately there for Christopher is not the first time we've seen it. But I think if, you know what, it's kind of interesting having, at least for this race, he's going to throw in a mighty fine wrench into the mix here for the top 5. As, you know, I would say Charles and Robin are pretty familiar with each other on track now, as are Doug and Clark. But having Christopher Greer thrown into the mix, where he should have been last race, but for some unknown reason, he was he started from the pits. So it's gonna be pretty fun to see how Christopher can shake things up and hopefully break a little bit of the monotony we have come to become familiar with at the front of the grid. Moving on down a bit, let's spectate these beautiful liveries here. Giancarlo Lindsey, a new addition to the league tonight. Saw him have a bit of catch out a bit of oversteer with Luca Conti, unfortunately moving them back about 10 positions. And kind of now getting to see where everyone started. That was a pretty big jump there by Luca, moving into P7 from P10. It looks like he was able to overtake Jason Ouellette, Vicente De Silva, and Aiden Benitez to get right behind Giancarlo Lindsey. Seems like he's fighting positions out there with Mr. Universe, a.k.a. Carter Close. I like throwing out their Discord names if I know it. It's always a good way to remember the driver. As it looks like we're getting into formation here. As we approach turn 9. I believe that's turn 9. Down the Brabham Straight, I believe. Brian Nagy, pardon. I know this kind of is letting you know I don't read the brief. I'll read the brief more often, I promise. As we get close to the line here.
Green light. Go, go, go.
And the lights green and we're off for event number 2 of the Multi-Class Fun League. Christopher Greer going wheel to wheel, making contact with Charles Saylor, unfortunately, being the wrench into the mix as we see. You know what? I'm going to move on because I saw a lot of stuff. We're just going to keep going. Charles Saylor maintaining the lead with Christopher Greer. Robin Borden behind. And I'm looking at a bunch of yellow flags in the back. We're gonna push on ahead. Sorry guys, I hope you recover.
Oh wow, I just came back just in time to catch all that mess.
You got any names?
There's so many I cannot keep up with it.
You know what? Let's go to one that I saw kind of in the mix. Giancarlo, Aiden Benitez, who kind of moved out of the way. Okay, let's go ahead and go back with Jason Ouellette, 30 seconds. And unfortunately, that was not far enough. We needed to go back further there, but it looked like a lot of the midfield was having a battle. Giancarlo Lindsey, Aiden Benitez, Vicente De Silva, a couple cars there I saw with contact. But yeah, we're just gonna carry on here. as the event is rolling on. Once we
Well,
come
there's a
back
lot
to
of
live.
action. Had a lot of action the first couple of laps here.
Slight change in pace here. Charles Saylor keeping the lead. Robin Borden following behind Christopher Greer. Very aggressive into event number 2, as they always are. Moving back down the grid. Doug Clark. And it looks like we have a bit of a change here with Aiden Benitez. It seems like Giancarlo has lost out 2 positions. Vincent De Silva behind Luca Conti, picking up another 2 positions as he is battling again with Giancarlo Lindsey. We saw these 2 in a reverse order, and unfortunately we've seen what resulted from that. Hopefully they can keep it on track together, or not. Carter Close will have a field day.
Meanwhile, back at the GT4s, we've had Jeffrey Bray has got out ahead of Harrison Lynn to begin this race. Let's see if he can hold him off.
It looks like Harrison Lynn is not happy about it.
No, but they're fixing to have company with 2 GT3 cars coming up behind them, and Conrad Abbott and Tim Dimitri, I believe.
Oh, as Harrison avoids contact there with Jeff Bray.
Now Conrad's on the outside trying to get by Harrison Lynn, and he's able to make it stick.
Yeah,
Now he's going to be working on Jeffrey Bray.
Harrison not happy there with the pass, unless that was his acknowledgement of letting him through. It's pretty cheeky to see GT4 flash their lights at a GT3.
Yeah, you don't see that very often.
Moving back up again with the leaders. Charles maintaining the lead, followed by Christopher Greer, Robin Borden, and Doug. Christopher is fast, I will admit that. One thing I've seen is that he's not so consistent. Now that's possible that he's overdriving the car slightly, as we constantly see him pushing through the grid. So hopefully as he runs in a top slot, you will see a little bit more consistency and a little bit more clinical driving from him. Unfortunately, though, if he does overdrive in order to make the pass, we might see Robin and Doug move up a position.
Yeah, they're both following pretty close behind him, so they'll be ready to capitalize on any mistakes.
Very controlled so far, as it looks like Clark and Vincent having a bit of a scrap. Giancarlo's close behind Aiden Benitez. Unfortunately there for Vincent, caught a bit of a curb there, pushing him back away from Clark as Aiden moves up closer behind. You know, being in that Bentley, I would assume that he's going to have the straight line speed, but it almost looks like his exit speed is not as quick as Aiden's is. Oh, and unfortunately there for Vincent, he goes off track there. Nick, how would you try to find the balance there with being quick and being consistent?
Well, you got to be mindful of how hard you're pushing the car. You don't want to try to do hot laps during the race, because it usually gets yourself in trouble. So you have to dial it back just a little bit, make sure you hit your braking points, and be patient. You're not going to win the race on the first few laps, but you can certainly ruin your race in the first few laps.
Words of wisdom from Nick King. Charles maintaining a good lead.
And I just missed something, but now it looks like Jeffrey Bray has fallen back. behind Harrison Lynn a good distance. I don't know what exactly happened, but now Harrison Lynn is having to fight with a couple more GT3 cars trying to get around him.
It looks like the pass might have been made 30 seconds further ago as we jump back on a replay. And unfortunately there for Jeffrey, he has already been passed by 3 GT3 cars. It's possible that in their attempt to get past him, he might have lost some time there to Harrison, who probably made the overtake a couple moments before that. Looks like Martin Warmington carrying a lot of damage. Flashbacks to Monza right now. As Thomas Rep gets past our GT4 leader. You know, Nick, we've mentioned this last season, and to you guys watching who might be wondering why Martin might continue to drive with damage with 22 minutes left. Pit stops are not mandatory, so unfortunately there for Martin, if he feels that he can carry on with the damage, that might be his only option there for time. Nick, in my experience, when it comes to having damage and having a race, you have two options. It's either, you know, do I want to stick on track and suffer and try to win, or do I pit, lose time, and try to have some fun? With the two options presented, which is your go-to?
Well, I'd tend to pit if it's bad enough, but if you're still semi-competitive with a wrecked race car, then I would stay out, especially these short 30-minute races.
Yeah.
Because if you do have to pit to fix damage, you're looking at, you're going to be sitting on pit road for a while, so you're going to go multiple laps down. So unless it's just a whole lot of damage, then I would stay out, because you're going to certainly lose a lot more time in the pits fixing the damage as opposed to just staying out and just toughing it out to the end of the race.
Luca Conti there saving it from the wall. Yeah, unfortunately for me, I never get the luxury of two options. It's always too much damage or too much damage. Bruce Hopkins there, hopefully not having the same issue as he avoids contact with the wall. Catching himself with a bit of traffic here as Aiden Benitez goes by, followed by Luca Conti and Davin Sturdivant. And it looks like both. Oh, Nick, we have a slight space there left by Davin and Bruce as he goes by. It looks like we have the Lexus trio catching up here with Davin Sturdivant, followed by Jonathan Corkle and Steve Fisher. And of course, K-Tai in the Huracan. This has been their plan, Nick. This was their master plan. They're about to enact it in action.
Yeah, I'm just glad we're here to witness it.
As unfortunately we witnessed Clark Moyer's accident there. Jumping back on the replay to see what happened. It's pretty easy to assume that it was an oversteer issue, as we've constantly seen so far in this event with the Porsches. And it looks like it was into turn 8. He just got too much curb, too much throttle, and that sent him into the wall. Thankfully there for Luca Conti and Davin Sturdivant, there was no contact as Jonathan Corkle also got by. Steve Fisher, unfortunately there, we're going to go back with him. Spun out as Dan Lee and Pete Stepani get by. It looks like the great Lexus master plan won't happen tonight, but it was close.
And unfortunately for Jeffrey Bray, it looks like he's done fell quite a bit behind Harrison Lynn again. I think the traffic with the GT3 is trying to get around him. It hurt him, and he hasn't been able to catch back up now. So he's second in the GT4 class. Then we have Correa's third in the GT4s, followed by Daly and Hopkins and Sullivan. And I see Carter Close is back here in 32nd. He must have had an off track. I don't see any damage, but he has fallen back behind some of these GT4s that he now has to get back by them.
Yeah, I think having this large gap where we have a huge chunk of GT3s with a small group of GT4s, it's pretty difficult there for these guys, as it seems like they're constantly in a little huddle and they somewhat get separated out as the traffic kind of engulfs them, unfortunately.
Yeah, it can be tough on the GT4 drivers.
I guess the love of GT4s keeps them on track. As Nick mentioned, Harrison Lynn running in first with a huge gap to Jeffrey Bray, followed by Jeremiah Daly, who unfortunately is caught out in a bunch of traffic as Jonathan Corkle attempts to pass. Thankfully, it's a clean one, but unfortunately for Jeremiah Daly, that is not the end of it, as he has K-Ty behind, followed by Aiden Benitez as well. K-Ty making a good move. You know, with a cool name like K-Ty, I want to see him higher up on the grid.
Yeah, I think we're all we can
Leonard Cachola.
Sorry about that. I had audio issues.
All good, friend. All good.
Anyway, what I was saying is I always want to tie that back to the Star Wars TIE fighters.
You know, I think that's kind of what he's doing there with his livery. Black and white Huracan. Changing it up on me too, as he ran a lime green last time. Nice move, Kevin, but can't defeat me yet.
Yeah, that bright car's a lot easier to spot.
Kind of had the reverse effect with Adam Stark last season when he went from the silver Porsche into the lime green. I completely lost him. He was hidden in plain sight. So Nick, I'm not sure what has unfolded here in the front, but Giancarlo Lindsey running in P3. I have no idea what could have happened to Doug. We know what happened to Clark, but I can't, for some reason, Doug in P8. Must have been a crazy run of things there.
Yeah, Christopher Greer's, he's fell back to 6 too, so De Silva and Benitez.
Something tells me there might have been some contact there with those two guys.
Yeah, these guys are competitors. They all want to win.
Now, unfortunately for us, we have jumped back 1 minute into Christopher Greer's replay, but it looks like any sort of incident that might have occurred with Doug happened before then, as we see Christopher Greer behind Aiden Benitez in P6, where he is currently running now. As it looks like Luca Conti, as we were able to see here, again finding himself in the sand. Unfortunately for him, he is able to handle it before it gets to the barrier, but that is the second time we've seen him coming down into turn 1 and just completely sending it into the sand.
Yeah, it looks like he was pushing a little too hard, and he didn't get the brakes in time. But I have noticed quite a few of them has done that, especially the GT3 cars.
As we've come back live, Charles maintaining his lead. Robin gaining into second place. Just kind of goes to show consistency and speed are the key combinations here. As it looks like Tim Dimitri and Nick Smoley have both gone off track in the same sector, as they both let Robin and Charles by. If you guys don't know, Tim and Nick both run the broadcast for the competitive league. So it's fun to see them as teammates in the broadcast and on track.
Yeah, and I encourage everybody to go watch their streams on Tuesday nights. They do a good job.
Small plug, if you want to watch Nick and myself compete, you can see us there. But don't come for us. We might be at the back.
Yeah, expect some disappointment if you're watching me.
I might leave early, so I might not be around. We're going to move back on the grid. Vicente De Silva, I think, being one of the more fortunate drivers tonight into the P4 slot there. I would have said it would have been Giancarlo Lindsey, but as we saw at the start, he just had a lot of contact. Not sure whose fault that might have been, but Vicente looks like he's had a clean run at things, and he's pushed it hard in that Bentley, which, you know, if you're not familiar, is the I believe the only right-handed drive car. So it might be an advantage tonight in Brands. I believe with a lot of these right-handed turns, he's definitely able to push it close to the apex.
Yeah, you got one car, the Bentley in the GT3s is right-hand drive, and I believe the Jannetta in the GT4s is right-hand as well. But I struggle with the steering wheel being on the wrong side, as I call it. Sometimes it makes it hard for you to hit your apexes, for me anyway.
No, I believe it there for sure. And it looks like Michael Sicca, unfortunately, carrying a ton of damage as he is going into the pits now. Seems like he gave up the position there as we saw him as he was being lapped by Vicente De Silva. Hasn't been a clean round this time around. Everyone's pushing a lot harder.
Yeah, I think the first 30-minute races usually tend to be a warm-up, and then when we get to race 2, they're all looking to make up as many positions as they can, especially at the start.
Seems like we have a yellow car there. Unfortunately, we weren't able to see as Davin Sturdivant gets around Tim Dimitri. And further on ahead, it looks like Doug has caught up to Christopher Greer, both racing in Ferraris. Aiden Benitez is going to have a tough go at it as he tries to defend P5 from two aggressive drivers. Bruce Hopkins getting caught up in the mix in the white Camaro. Hopefully coming down the straight, he's able to let a few of these GT3 cars pass. It looks like he might have had to brake a little bit more there than he would have liked for Christopher Greer. Doug able to make the good overtake as well. As it looks like they're about to come into a bit of traffic with Nick Smoley, who is running a lap down. Christopher Greer going a bit wide. That's going to open the room for Doug to catch up. Fortunately for Christopher, he did not lose a lot of time there to Aiden.
Now we see Carter Close in the GT3. He's made his way through all the GT4s except for Harrison Lynn, which he is passing now. So now he gets by. So he'll be working on trying to catch up with Tim Dimitri now.
And as we've seen it time and time again, GT3 traffic is highly volatile and extremely dangerous. It looks like Nick Smoley unfortunately went a bit wide as he tried to make room to let the faster cars by. And as he did, and Aiden Benitez attempted to make the overtake, Christopher Greer has made contact, and we saw a bit of a pile up there. Aiden being the one who lost out the most. Christopher Greer moving up. Christopher Greer is behind. It was Doug who benefited there. Now, it didn't look like Doug made any contact, so fortunately for him, he maintained a clean line and was able to avoid all of the carnage. But as we saw before, 3 cars into 2 lanes into 1 corner. Math does not add up, folks.
No, sometimes you need luck on your side too.
Speaking of luck, we're going to move on. Unfortunately, pardon me, Leonard, for using this analogy, but speaking about luck, let's move on to Leonard Cachola in his classic yellow livery. I mentioned this because Leonard is a very fast driver, as we saw in Season 2. Season 3, unfortunately, he had a bit of luck there. Just a couple of bad sessions, catching out a lot of damage at the start. Leonard is one of the guys who prefers a cleaner drive, so a lot of the times we saw him pit to recover from that damage. It's good to see him, though, in a higher position. So as you mentioned that, Nick, I just wanted to move down into the midfield and kind of cover a driver we had not spoken about yet.
Yeah, I was looking here at Mike Smith in 16th place. I think he run around this spot in race 1 too. Stayed around 15th to 18th. But his car looks clean, so I don't think he's had a lot of contact with anybody. So
yeah, that's fairly. I would say that's on the on what I would classify Mike in. We saw the similar thing in Season 3. He usually ran within P12, P14, but he was always consistent and maintained that safety rating, so I applaud him. Hopefully later on this season we can see him push a little more, but I do respect the clean driving, though, so hats off to you, Mike.
yeah, I agree 100%. Although he could be holding back a little. I don't.
You know what?
I think it wouldn't look right if he wins all the races in his league.
I think you're right there, Nick. Mike, whenever you watch this, we want more. Quit sandbagging us. Bruce Hopkins, unfortunately, moving out of the way from Dan Lee, going off track there as he lets Pete Stepani by. Jason Ouellette getting caught up a bit. Jason able to make the overtake now. Unfortunately for him, he lost time, but you know, this is what we want to see with a clean overtake. So best of luck there to you, Jason, as you hunt down Pete in the remaining 5 minutes of event number 2. We're going to move back again with the leaders. Maintaining their position so far, Charles Saylor in P1, as Robin Borden has caught up. He's bridged the gap a lot. Unfortunately for Robin, it is not enough so far. But with 4 minutes and 30 seconds left, I think we have time to see a bit of action there from Robin. Going a little bit over wide, but he's able to maintain it. They're about to catch Bill Shaw in the McLaren. This might prove essential for Robin, as it might give him the space to be able to get by. Giancarlo Lindsey, as you saw him further back. Robin trying to find the space, not giving in yet. Giancarlo Lindsey with a bit of an oversteer there, but that was a nice drift, so hats off to you. Vicente De Silva maintaining his position in P4, as it looks like Doug has given himself a lot of space from Christopher Greer, as we previously saw Christopher with contact with Nick Smoley. Aiden Benitez unfortunately losing out into P10 behind Davin Sturdivant and Jonathan Corkle. Christopher Greer lapping Martin Warmington. Martin, it looks like he did pit, so that's why he is unfortunately not on the leaderboard at the moment. Davin followed by his teammate, Jonathan Corkle.
It looks like Robin Borden has fallen back just a little bit from the lead. Maybe he's trying to set him up for a pass here with just over 2.5 minutes to go. They are coming up on Conrad Abbott, so he might pose a problem for them too, but he could slow down, and he could play a factor in who wins this race.
With 2 minutes left, Nick, I believe you are right. Now, we didn't see too much of Conrad Abbott last season. I believe the few times we did see him, unfortunately, it was some sort of incident. Not that I remember any of them being his fault. So I do believe he'll be able to allow them to pass when the time is right. As we see Jeff Bray holding him up slightly. That bit there is going to prove essential as it comes to the race for the leaders.
Yes, now they're starting to heat it up.
They both get past Jeff Bray cleanly.
It's going to be a little more difficult to get by Conrad, though, because he's in a GT3, so he can run pretty quick. And he could hold these guys up. No, he's pulling over and letting them race it out. That's the gentleman thing to do.
I wanted to see more contact, Nick.
Well, hats off to Conrad. That was a good move.
For sure.
Because if I was in Robin's position, I'd want him to pull over and let me and the leader battle it out.
Seems like Charles is pulling a bit away from Robin. Fortunately for us, there is still a good amount of racing as they approach Bruce Hopkins in the GT4. This might be the bit of contact that I'm looking for, Nick.
Well, we got to make it interesting, don't we?
Got to keep it a bit of drama and suspense here as Charles gets by safely. And it looks like Robin Borden does as well.
If they keep this up, Lindsey's going to be back in the battle.
He's not that far behind. Now, Nick, I'm not too familiar with the rules here, but if they cross the line after the time has run out, will that mean it's the end of the race?
No, I'm not too sure being the leaders, but yeah, it should be the final lap here.
As they go wheel to wheel down the straight, Robin Borden making a move down the inside as it is the lap.
The leader has finished the race.
Oh, that's it. He got him at the line.
Wow, fantastic.
Oh.
Slight tap there, but that's just a little high five. Let's
that was pretty exciting.
Let's hop back there 1 second. As we replay this moment, Robin Borden making a move down the inside with the switch bag into turn 9 as they went down Brabham straight, move it on the inside. And just by a hair with a photo finish, Robin Borden finishes in front of Charles Saylor with Giancarlo Lindsey in P3. Fantastic driving by these guys.
I believe that's one of the closest finishes I've seen in ACC.
Definitely in this league, and for being the second event this season, it's I think it's only going to get better from here.
Yeah, we're seeing some good racing tonight.
Quick look here at the leaderboard as we kind of drifted off there to watch that photo finish one more time. It looks like Christopher Greer finished behind Doug in P5 and Vicente De Silva coming out in P4. Davin Sturdivant P8, Jonathan Corkle Davin P7, John P8, K-Ty in P9, and look at this, the lucky man himself, that's his name, I'm coining it, the lucky man himself. It's Leonard Cachola running out the top 10. You got any words for us tonight, Nick?
It's been a good night. I really enjoy watching these guys race, and now that they've added the multi-class to this season, it makes things interesting. I would like to see a few more GT4 cars in the field, but it was good racing. Brands Hatch is a short track. It's narrow. It's hard to pass, and these guys did a real good job.
Yeah, definitely, I would agree. Man, good racing. And do you know where we're going next week?
You know what? I haven't looked for the Fun League. I'm not exactly sure. I'll have to check that.
Sorry, I threw you under the bus there, but I myself did forget as well. So we're both under there.
It's all good.
All right, guys. That's been it for us. I hope you guys have enjoyed our broadcast of tonight's race in Brands Hatch. If you guys would like to join the Discord and be part of the league yourself, or join any events, or just simply be part of the conversations, the link is in the chat. So be sure to join. Come by, say hello. It's a great community led by Mike Smith. And so I strongly recommend it. You guys won't regret it. But that's been it for us for tonight. And we hope you guys come back again next week. Same time on Wednesday as we bring you coverage of this league. And that's it for me. Nick, any last words?
I'll just thank all the viewers for watching. And this is you're getting good at this. So I like this. I will have to study what you're doing, and maybe I can up my game a little bit. But I thanks for everybody for coming to watch. And
Thank
I
you,
hope we get
guys.
to see you in Discord and maybe in the race sometime too. And thanks for having me on again. I appreciate it.
Of course, Nick. This is our broadcast now. We're a team. And guys, with Nick there signing off, we'll see you guys next week. So have a good one. Good night.
Green line. Give it all you got.